Okay. Are we up? I think we may be up. Yes. Yes, looks like we are. The finale. Hold up. Just need to ignore that and pull up this one, and also okay. The chat up. It's showing all messages. We're not going to miss anything. And we're going to be gaming very shortly. Okay. I believe we are up. So, we've done all this stuff. We went to the crater. Well, here we can return to the crater just to get a clean break for the finale. So this is the crater. This is in the past, technically. This is all a dream. But we went here. There's some stuff. We fell down the crater. Captain Cuttlefish is missing. Senior advisor Cuttlefish, but he fell down with us, but is missing. So, we've been following his radio signals, and through that, we have gone to 6 islands. The first one was here, and we fought all 3 members of Deep Cut, which are apparently some sort of strange thievery group. At least that's what they think. Actual thieving actual results may vary. Anyway, we have Captain 3, Agent 3 from the first game, Callie and Marie, which are all great. We love all of them. Love all of their new outfits. Very cool. But I've already talked about most of this stuff in the other streams, so you should just watch those. But we went through all 6 of these islands. I talked about all of them. I talked about how the hero gear is cool, but still kind of weird. We did all of the levels once. I talked about all of the Sunken Scrolls, and I talked in detail about all of the Sunken Scrolls. We talked about all the logs that we have access to. There's 1 or 2 more extra ones. You can see at the bottom there's space. So we still have logs to finish. We collected these strange objects, which unlike Octo Expansion, even though it's kind of a similar thing, unlike in Octo Expansion, these objects don't make anything obvious. So, but this starts the final section. So, yep. They triple confirm. Okay, so they figure that Captain Cuttlefish is the only place they haven't looked, which is the big rocket. But there's this big mess of fuzzy ooze in the way. Oh, also our small fry friend eats stuff. A lot of this is pretty obvious. The thing I really like here is that these are like full cutscenes. Like, I don't know, it's different. So in Splatoon, this sequence, I'm just gonna let it speak for itself. Okay, this whole, like, it's like a minute 30. This whole sequence is just like insane. Insanely good. And this kind of makes the game. Anyway. And we fly off. That scene is like we fly off, but not. Oh yeah, we do fly off. So we're on the island now. I want to talk about that scene first. The music is amazing. It's some of the best music they've made, and it was only like a minute. The sequence first, you can tell. So like in Splatoon 1 and 2, they don't really put effort into the cutscenes because there's only like 2 of them per game. There's like an opening cutscene and a finale cutscene, kind of, but not really. There isn't really a finale cutscene. There kind of is, but not really, and it's not really high effort, right? They don't really do a lot with the cutscenes because there's only 2 of them. In Octo Expansion, they do a little bit more, but it's not like a full game how a full game really is, right? Like, this is not... Octo Expansion is not cutscene heavy by any means. It has like 4 probably, which is double the amount they used to have, but the cutscenes are still at the beginning and the end, and except for at the very end, they don't get super interesting. Like, the first few cutscenes, even the cutscene leading up to the final boss, isn't as good as this one. It's definitely pretty good, and it's definitely an improvement, but this story mode definitely improved in the cutscene department. Mostly because I think they just invested more into it. And they have more stuff going on. Yeah, like this happens. I'm glad that they're in the story mode. I was a little bit worried when they kind of indicated that in some of the trailers that Deep Cut was going to be part of the story mode. Because, like, I don't know. I wasn't sure if it'll work or not. And this works out pretty well. And we're gonna explain why. Like, this cutscene is like extra. They didn't have to do that. They could have just put some lines on the screen, which is what they did with Splatoon 1 and 2. Whenever they had like a story thing that was like minor, they didn't cutscene it. They just did dialogue. And in this one, they just went the whole way. Oh, and they give up. Also, there's no, like... Splatoon is a very strange job market, from what I can tell. It seems that jobs are plentiful in the Splatoon universe, and or there is no limit to currency. Now, I mean, you know, we don't know if Marie has a lot of money. It's assumed, considering... I don't know, she has... Well, we're kind of just assuming because she's on the news and she sings songs, but we don't really know how that works. For all we know, she doesn't really get paid anything for that. But also, she's like perhaps part of the political system, right? She's like theoretically some form of military, so presumably she would get paid a lot for that. Same thing with Kelly, because they're pretty much the same. They were both on the news. Whatever. But jobs seem strangely plentiful. I.e., if someone offers to work for you, you're probably just going to go, alright. Which is very weird, very weird. I don't really know what it says. it mostly just says that they wanted to have it be funny because Deep Cut shows up and then they join your team immediately. But then they have these cool ink rail sections which have some dialogue, but they're not particularly like interesting. It's not the cutscenes. The cutscenes are really cool. Anyway, we can see the little signal there. That is cuttlefish somewhere, and then we go in. Now, if this looks a little bit familiar, it's because this final section is pretty much just the final section of Octo expansion, but slightly better. It's kind of the same, but it's slightly better. They take away your weapon at the beginning. They take away all your abilities. The difference is you only have small fry, so it is a different level, but it still feels the same, which doesn't really help. Yeah. Anyway, the fact that there's like 5 of them giving you tips is pretty nice. Anyway, you have to use small fry, which isn't as hard as it appears. It's not... The Octo expansion ones were like legitimately pretty hard because of the whole, you know, you don't have... It's 100% stealth. This is, you know, stealth plus you have a thing that can kill things, so... Now, the enemies can kill your small fry, so... Oh, right. I'm just supposed to hit that. So, ooh, oh, right. I forgot about this one. You can... So, these aren't in the game, actually. I don't think we've run into the flutters before in Splatoon 3. Because they're not in, because they wanted to do this thing where if you throw small fry at them, they stop. It's very weird. Oh yes, vaults. But this whole thing is kind of a cool maze. Basically, in regards to this, like, final level, it's a good final level because the design of the Octo expansion level was pretty good, and this, I mean, it doesn't do it exactly the same. It's not that boring, but, okay. It's not, right? It's the same, but it's still pretty different, so it ends up being this sort of weird, like, oh yeah, you did the same thing in general, right? It's kind of like how Splatoon 1 and 2 have the same aesthetic, like, same gameplay, but are still different games, and Splatoon 2 is still better because of it, right? Oh, right, I forgot about this one. Oh, no, I messed it up. Darn. You have to wait for... So, like, it's a different... Right? It's not the same as the... It's not the same as the Octo expansion one. But it's also not different, right? It's not super... It's not like they did something completely different. Because they didn't. They've got a big sort of level with a bunch of different sections that that you go through, and they've all kind of got different sort of gimmicks, and we're gonna see them. We're gonna see all the different gimmicks, but there's, like, this one is you don't have a weapon. Well, you do have a weapon, but you don't have your main weapon. The next one, there's one. Ooh. I don't remember what the next one is. But, like, there's 5 or 6, and they all kind of have different things. There's one that's oh. Now, they don't have an Agent 3 boss fight, which is pretty interesting, but I think it's understandable. There's really no way to make an AI fight like that be better than the Agent 3 fight, right? Like, that was pretty much the best you can make an AI without making the AI just, like, better. Just giving it more stuff. Ooh. Okay. We got the key. Nice. And then we go. Now, in a similar fashion, oh right, we have to equip. So now we get our gear back. Now, I will say, I think that this finale is better. And there's a couple of different reasons for it. First, there's more dialogue, I think. I'm pretty sure. There's more dialogue. Yeah, see? Ah, yes. Corporate engagement facilitators. Now, a lot of the a lot of the lines Mr. Grizz has here are very weird. They weren't really entirely sure what they wanted him to say. And I don't think they really thought it mattered a ton. But they have a little section in between each sort of level that has some amount of dialogue in it. It's mostly Cuttlefish and Mr. Grizz, but you get the other characters too. I mean, they only... Yeah, okay. You also get another, like, a significantly different vibe. Well, it's the other thing. Like, the Arcto expansion finale. Ooh, this one's really cool. Because this whole section is all the specials, or most of them. You get each of them, and you just use them. Right? And that's what you're supposed to do, right? So we got the hammer, the reef slider. Got all of them? Got all of them. So you can tell they looked at the Octo expansion one and was like, okay, what can we do more? But it's the same sort of deal, but like, what can we do more, really? That one's a weird one. I don't remember. Oh, we get Splashdown. Yep. Then Inkvac. See, like, the cool thing about this one is it could be kind of a tutorial level. Nice. Right, this is actually like a pretty good tutorial for all of the... all of the different specials. And that's one of the reasons I think the Octo expansion one is good for sure, but I think this one's better. I don't remember what you're supposed to do for this one. Oh, you get Crab Tank from him, and then you have to shoot it. Shoot all the guys. I got him. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you get more than one Crab Tank, actually. Final checkpoint in this area. Oh no! Did I use the Crab Tank too early? I think I did, actually. I think I used the Crab Tank too early. Okay, but this is the... Yep, and then we go up. I will say these levels do a pretty good job of actually being like. So that's the other thing. The Octo expansion finale kind of just exists in a limbo zone, right? Where like, yeah, you're in a giant facility, so they can make it look any way they want. In contrast, this one is very much like they kind of have a layout of the building to set up for you to go through. It's not fully like that. I think they do have a little bit of funkiness, but they do make sure to make it kind of make sense. Which is, I don't know, that's pretty nice. Right? Nope. Right? Like, that's pretty interesting. You don't get a lot of that, actually, in games, because, you know, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect the game if you make it so that it's not it's not physically possible to do the thing, right? But you can see, right, like the little lines, and we went up a lot in that last level, right? So they kind of have designed it not in sort of limbo space. Oh, this is the fog area. Oh, wait. This is a cool area, actually. So, if you remember, in Octo Expansion, there was a level, the finale had a little thing where you, rode a little balloon. Or you had to keep a little ball going throughout a whole level. This is basically that level, but I don't want to say better, less infuriating, right? Instead of you having to hit the ball all the time, and no, we're gonna go for this one. Oh, they're too far. Right? You just have to fight the enemies that are coming at you, which can be annoying, actually, right? Like, but it's not, like, super annoying, right? It's not a, oh, no, I messed up, now I lose. Okay, got it. Ah, yes, and small fry is back to being good. Anyway, this area, yeah, it's pretty much just a whole thing where you just go through. I don't know what this is for. Oh, it's for that guy. What's next? Oh, those guys. I can still shoot them. Ooh. Plus, they added the little fog effect, which actually is, I don't know, I kind of, I can appreciate it, right? Like, I think it's something they don't do a lot because it's not, like, super gameplay-esque, but I think it does make the game more interesting when you just make it the visibility lower. But I guess the point is, if they do it too long, too much, then it won't be meaningful. Which, you know. Ooh, that was a good one. The AI has been slightly improved in this game, I think. I think slightly. I don't think it's just the base, like, AI opponent stuff, I think, has been improved. Okay, I got him. Oh, we got boxes. Break the boxes, kill the boxes. Also, like, the, oh, this is the thing. We'll probably need this. Oh, no, never mind. So you can see we went kind of up, and then we went all the way down. So now we're kind of at the bottom. Yeah, see? This section. Oh yes, and we get lore about Deep Cut, which is kind of this lore is kind of cool. So there is apparently a shallow cut. Basically, Deep Cut are not bad guys. They were going to give the money away. Which makes sense when you remember that they're the three, like, families who are in charge of everything. Oh yeah, and we get this really cool thing through the pipe. I really like that they added this because they didn't need to. They could have just put the pipe as you go in the pipe and then the next level. There's a lot of stuff where they just chose to make it more than it is. Anyway, we are now on the launch pad, and there's a big rocket. Now we gotta climb up the big rocket. If this seems slightly familiar, it's because we had to climb up other things in... We had to climb up something like this in Octo Expansion, but it wasn't exactly like this. And obviously, so we don't want to touch all of the fuzzy ink anywhere, because if we do, it will kill us. And the music is also Deep Cut music, which lore-wise is actually like kind of demo tracks, I guess, or something, that they just made when they were younger. But it's really good, so I don't care. These little roller things are really cool. I'm glad they added them. Even though they're not like a super big innovation or anything, they added a good amount in this game that is just good for no reason, pretty much. Also, I really like that like none of the stuff in this game in the story mode ever gets buffed or nerfed based on what they do in multiplayer, which like makes sense if you think about it for half a second, but then you're like, oh, right, the farther the game goes along, the more you'll be like, wait, Crab Tank is actually worse in multiplayer, like significantly, because they nerfed it a little bit and they gave it some some frames on some of its stuff. Okay, we got it. Ooh, that was close. Right, bowling balls. Oh, whoops. I did not need to do that, but we did anyway. It's pretty easy to kill these things, actually. I think they nerfed the bowling balls. I think they're harder to kill in Splatoon 2. But we can just Ultra Stamp our way to victory. See. Got him. We're good. Yes, we found the Great Zapfish. If you remember, at the beginning of the game, Captain Cuttlefish, not Captain Cuttlefish, he's not a captain anymore, revealed that the Great Zapfish was missing and that you must find it. That has been forgotten ever since, like, the tutorial level, so, you know, Mr. Grizz had the Zapfish the whole time. Yes, this level. This level is pretty much exactly, well, see, this level perfectly represents how this finale is the same but different than Octo Expansions. So in this one, you get this, and then you have to grab all the energy cores. There's a similar level in Octo Expansion, where you have to grab all of the little points around, and you use the inkjet the whole time. This one is the same, right? You need to grab all the points, and you use the Zipcaster. But it's different, right? Because you're using the Zipcaster. The Zipcaster is... Oh, I messed it up. The Zipcaster is not the same as the inkjet, and there's a lot more things, right? The objects that you're looking for there's a lot more of them because you kind of just get them from running around. Now later, there's a reason I think that this section is significantly better than the inkjet one, and that's mostly because of a section later on. There's a bunch of different levels here. Jump up. Anyway, you can tell that there's like set paths to go. Right? And it kind of angles itself up. You gotta be careful though, if you miss one, you'll have to go back. Like, I missed one, I think. Ooh. And then you can fall all the way down, right? So... Oh, yes. Ooh. Okay, we gotta make sure to get this right. Okay, we got it. Did we get all of them? Oh. There we go. Where is it? One left. Is it back? Where is it? Oh, it's over there. Oh, you have to... Okay, actually, let's go back this way. You have to go up right there, yeah. Oop. Oop, I've been killed again. This, see, right, but this level is the perfect amount of like, oh yeah, it's difficult, but it's not really difficult, right? You're not having, like, it's not like you're losing and this is causing you to not have fun, right? It's still fun to do this because, unsurprisingly, right, running around with the Zipcaster is pretty much just fun. Regardless of whether you're winning or losing. Okay, we got it. Got that one. There's one over there. We missed it. Okay. How are we supposed to get that one? Oh. Got it. Oop. Okay, we have to wait till it goes up. Okay, we got all of them. And then I fell all the way down, almost. Which is great. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The Zipcaster is a very good... I'm pretty sure they just designed this special for single-player levels and then decided they could use it for multiplayer. Because it really feels like a level design tool and not a, you know, this is a thing, right? Ah, yes, this part. This part is really good. I really like this part. Because, watch. Okay, we go over here. We go up here. Guy's aiming at us. He's going to kill us. Go. Ugh. You have to really hit it quick, right? Because he aims directly at you. And we got all of them. Okay. And there we go. That last section is the reason I like this one way better than the inkjet one. Because the inkjet one doesn't have that level of, oh yeah, you just gotta go. Right, part of the thing is, like, Mr. Grizz is kind of just using, like, business lingo for randomness. It doesn't seem to actually mean anything. I guess it could mean anything, but I think it's just for, like, the bit that he's a weird capitalist. Except for this part. Oh no. Something happened to no longer Captain Cuttlefish. See, he has to leverage the suffering of his employees. Right? Like, it's that kind of, like, buzzwords that don't mean anything except for suffering something. I don't know. Is that Pac-Man? Kind of looks like Pac-Man. The fact that there's two symbols here is kind of interesting, actually. It's not. It's probably not both Alterna. I should look through the game for that. Oh yeah, another cutscene. We get a lot of like extra cutscenes. Oh no! What happened to Cuttlefish? And you're just there. There. Oh yes, and we finally get the reveal. Mr. Grizz is a bear. A funny, very funny looking bear. It's called the Earth Sign Anomaly number 3, which is important, kind of. Oh yeah, he's got some good lines actually, and his theme is really cool. Oh yeah, fun fact, this is this is English. There's actual human voices in Splatoon for the first time in this sequence, which is very cool, and he's going to blow up the world. Yes, okay, he is coating the planet in fuzzy ooze. He looks like he's using some sort of oh no! The rocket! And, Cuttlefish is dead, but, it's clear that, Inklings don't die normally in this way. And Captain 3 drops a single tear and he comes back to life. Yeah, so I don't know how he's floating around. It's, he doesn't really have a body. They'll never catch the rocket. They're gonna help us catch the rocket, I guess. Somehow. I don't know. Don't worry about it. It's the eels. They can fly. Yeah, this game sort of straddles the line between, yeah, we've actually got some sort of scientific basis for this, and no, we just go. Yeah, that's Big Man's contribution. He gives you a helmet. Also, proof that the super jump kind of has a limited range. Also, Small Fry just follows you everywhere somehow. Like, this game is like, you know, 55% real, actual, oh yeah, we have rationalizations and how this works. And then like 40% just, nah, they just fly. And you're on the rocket. In space, by the way. Which means that Inklings can survive in a low-pressure environment, or a no-pressure environment. As well as Mr. Grizz, but he's covered in the little ooze stuff, so I don't know what that's about. Now, this is really cool. First, we get the planet, as it exists. There is a, oh, crap. He's shooting stuff at me. There is somebody who got the actual, like, full map of this. Now, you have to get a bunch of golden eggs. Mr. Grizz, this boss fight is really good. I do enjoy it. It's a little bit like a combination it's a bit like... It's kind of like the Splatoon 1 boss fight, but better in my opinion. The Splatoon 1 boss fight, basically, right, you just run at DJ Octavio until he stops running and you can shoot him, and then he keeps running. This one is more, you know, objective-based, which I think is really cool. Plus, he throws... They're mostly specials, but once you get close enough to him, you shoot his little things. Ouch. But he also throws, these are... Ooh, ouch. Pretty much all of his things just, like, one-shot you. All of his attacks. But, you know, we have to cover him in paint. Yeah, he gets absorbed and then goes away and then comes back up. The final boss theme is really good, though. This is definitely the best boss fight out of all of them. Like, hands down. Because I don't know if it's the hardest. Splatoon 1's still maybe harder. This might be the hardest. No, I think Splatoon 1's might be harder. But, right, you... Oh, yeah. They make the whole rocket rotate. Which is very cool, right? I mean, think about the mechanics of this, right? That it's not... It must not be super bad to do this, right? Like, from a game engine perspective. But I can't imagine this is easy to make this work, right? There's so much stuff in this game where you're just like... They clearly were looking for ways to push their limits here. They weren't looking to just redo... Oh, yeah. Enemies. But he's going to rotate it around again. Because that's what he does now. So, like, that attack is now in his thing, and... Ooh, ouch. He's gonna... Okay, he fired a bunch of stuff out. Right, so he fires the triple ink strike, and he does the, what was it? This is a growth industry, right? Like, I really like the fact that he does that. It just makes it better. He's all the way over there, somehow. He's just must be made of the ooze at this point. Which possibly explains why he's alive in space. Anyway, this section is quite cool. Because you have to jump. And it's a pretty difficult jump. It's not an easy one. And you have to fight enemies. Oh, got it. I will say this is the one where you're this game, this single player mode, your weapons get the most upgraded in this one. What is he even doing? Oh, he rolls on it. I forgot that's how he does it. Got him. Okay, we got all the things. Let's go. Oh, yes. He spits out Killer Whale from the first game. The original, by the way. Not the, you know, we made it actually usable version. For Killer Whale 5.1. It's the, you know, just... Oh, yes. And then... I think that's the last area. The Killer Whale is killer. It hurt you a lot in Splatoon 1. It does the same here. I mean, this one is just definitely the best one. Oh yeah, he wants to make Earth ruled by mammals, I guess. and everything explodes, and you get thrown away. You'll probably be fine. You can survive in a low-pressure environment. That means you're maybe okay to... Oh, yes, and then this part is kind of crazy. DJ Octavio shows up since not being in this game almost at all since the beginning. I don't know how they can tell what's going on, but they can. Maybe they have a telescope? Maybe... Oh yeah, and they're saying their thing. And Callander interrupts them. Right, like this extra cutscene is normally this would be like the ending cutscene, right? Like this cutscene would be the end one. Oh yeah, and they bring back the song. It's the song. Oh yeah, I don't know how important this is to the lore, but this happens. Your small fry buddy, after playing through the whole game and eating all of the things, gets to be, gets to suck up marine life energy, and they quote the thing from a while ago, and he gets to be a really big salmon. So the salmon fights the bear. And so, right, bears eat salmon a lot. Oh, they're also really big, both of them. I don't want to say this is silly, but bears just eat salmon, right? Like, salmon are not competing with bears. But that's how it goes. If you were to actually come up with the, like, who is competing with bears, the answers would be humans and, like, big cats. So, there's really nothing. Oh, yes, and they get ink back, and you kind of direct. Yeah. It's a really good finale. And, of course, you only have 3 minutes and 33 seconds, because... yeah. Oop. Yeah, and then he shoots stuff at you. So you have to... Yep. And then you can run around, and, huge fry. Oh yeah, you don't want to... They're false fuzzballs, I guess, is the thing. If the problem is that a lot of this, it's kind of hard to tell where you are in terms of, like, your spaceship position. Anyway, the salmon is fighting the bear. I'd like to acknowledge that the salmon is a lot bigger compared to how salmon... Ooh, see, like, right there, they just spawn in. The salmon is a lot bigger in proportion than the bear, right? Like, bears are big on their own. They can easily get up to large amounts of pounds. Yet this part's really annoying because of how they buffed those guys. And then they spit more guys out. And those guys they really do just kill you because it's such a small space. Just one more to go, and then we fly around. Yeah, see? Oh. Right, it's pretty hard to tell where you are. In terms of when is your thing gonna die, and when is it going to live. Right, like, that one's right there. It's pretty close. Ooh. And they really just spit out lots of enemies at you. They don't really hold back at this point. wonder what is, like, I wonder what's the fastest time you can do this, actually. Because I think for the most part, I have always hit, like, pretty close to one. Oh, yes, and then you shoot it back at him. You just shoot at him. And everything starts glitching out. Which is a similar thing that happened last time, if you remember. I think, for the most part, the Splatoon 3 finale is better than the Octo Expansion one. But I think, except for the final, like, ending. And that's just because the final ending of Octo Expansion is that Pearl gets to shout at the guy and blows him up. This is just more normal, right? You just blow him up. I mean, sure, DJ Octavio comes back and helps you, but it's not like there's a big deal there. And then we get the credits. So, we have a world map for Splatoon confirmed in this one. Someone did, like, rip the whole thing and put it into an image that I found a while ago. I think I have that saved. But we get the final news report. Yep. Very good. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. And they make a bunch of bear puns. The Zapfish is back. The Great Zapfish is back. The second one? Question mark? This is the one in the Splatlands? Also, it looks different than the Great Zapfish from the other one. I don't know what this means. Like, what? Is it worse? Better? Is this going to be a problem? Who knows? Broken news. Thank you, big man. Yes. They released a new single. My theory is actually for these singles. So, like, the Squid Sisters technically have released a single for the credits for Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3. My theory is that it's a double. Well, it's got an A-side and a B-side, and that the B-side is just a remix of Calamari Invitation, right? Like, that's the... And this is the credit song. Yeah, so my theory is that that's what they put on the backs of their new singles. Oh, lamest end credits, though, you can shoot ink, but you don't have bombs. You just shoot ink, and it doesn't do anything. It does nothing. It just explodes in the background. Now, I mean, if you shoot it, it kind of gets into that little pile over there, but it doesn't do anything. It's so disappointing. It's like the worst, like, possible. It makes the game terrible. Actually, Splatoon 3 is the worst one because of this. I'm just kidding, but, like, I'm legitimately curious why they didn't just do the same sort of thing, right? Like, it didn't even need to be something fancy, right? It just needed to be something that did something, and this doesn't do anything. Right? Like, if you don't shoot, nothing happens. If you shoot, nothing happens. I mean, you still listen... Well, okay, but to be fair, the Octo Expansion credits also didn't have anything like that. It was you didn't even interact with it at all, so I guess this is an improvement. But Splatoon 1 and 2 are the worst of the 4 single-player modes, but have the 2 best end credits. I think I'm going to take a look at the full map for the Earth after we finish this. Now, I mean, because of some of the things they said about the finale, like, that they said about this game, there was a lot of, like, predictions that they wouldn't do a lot more with Splatoon, except for they had already revealed that they were going to do a DLC. It's very interesting to see. Oh yeah, Mr. Grizz is still there. He's still out here, presumably, right? Like, these credits are canon. Also, all of the lights do kind of matter, right? Like, there's actually a lot of things going on. I really want them to show off more of the whole world, since they've revealed that it's a whole world. Right, it actually is kind of crazy that they went from, you know, it's one city with 2 areas in Splatoon 2, with generic areas outside that represent, and then in Octo Expansion, they're like, okay, there's a sea outside, and then there's some other locations, to, yeah, here's a full map. Now, they still haven't given us a political map, so they haven't actually shown us what countries exist and where, unless they're all part of one country, but that's still relevant because then the different administrative units would matter. So they've just given us a kind of basic geographical map. Also, based on the map, it doesn't seem to be that many mountains. But look, like, you can see they've specifically put out lights in certain areas. Also, the other thing is that I kind of had this little theory, but I think it's pretty much not proven false at this point, because I was thinking whether the Earth no longer had an atmosphere or had a very low pressure atmosphere, but there's a lot of clouds in the sky there, so I don't think that's really feasible. Because that's one of the big questions here. How can Inklings, and to a lesser extent Ogdolings, basically survive fine, and also salmon, survive fine in a low pressure environment? There are a couple of different answers to this. The first one is that they just can, because of that it just works for them, which would, you know, that's actually okay, right? There are other animals that can exist in low pressure environments. The other one is that they weren't actually in a very low pressure environment, and that the being above the Earth wasn't really super high up, and it was still breathable, I guess. That doesn't really make sense given to how high up it looks. But, I mean, you can squint and make it work, so... But the, yeah, so basically those are the two options. Oh, I still get to shoot things. Ooh, I wonder if you could make a star map based off of the stars. But the camera's moving in all directions. That's hard to do. But you did see which way the Earth was rotating. But the Earth's rotation could have changed. I'm thinking too hard in this, but... oh yeah, and then press A. And we get the... yeah, that stuff. And we get a sticker. It's a selfie in the end. Oh, yes. And then we get a secret kettle. I will be doing this because I'm pretty good at this, so I don't think it'll take too long. But... and we get a badge and whatever. Okay. There's one more thing to do. One more thing. You thought it was over. There's one more thing to do. Oh, you get an extra cutscene. I completely forgot about this. I don't think this happens in any of the other... It doesn't happen in Octo Expansion. It might happen a little bit in Splatoon 2, but Splatoon 2 doesn't really have cutscenes. It just has dialogue. Cuttlefish is maybe not all there anymore. That whole thing is kind of weird. I have an idea for an in-depth analysis of it. Oh yeah, and you get a booyah from Captain 3, the only time they speak all game. Because it's a player character, so I can only say booyah and over here. Anyway, we've already done all this stuff. The only important thing is that you get, so you get a little Sheldon drone, because Sheldon knows about everything and is actually in charge. No, I'm just kidding, but he does actually know about everything. And you get extra stuff for power eggs. It's mostly the repeatable items that can show up sometimes. So like you get tickets, you get, I don't think I've ever gotten a table turf pack, but you can get other things. Also important, this is the same except for the ooze is gone. But now the rocket's blue. I don't know if that means it's no longer there, or if they have another one that they've set up. It's the question of what happens after Alterna finishes. Oh yeah, and you can relive the boss fight, just like in Octo Expansion. Is pretty interesting, because it's still obviously here, and they're still doing stuff with it. But anyway, that's the extra kettle. Yeah, he gives you a booyah. This is the final thing in the game. Oh, yeah, we don't have anything else. So we must only have one log left. Log number 7. After Alterna, reach the goal to gain access to the ... log, which is the 7th one and the final thing in the game. So you get the log, and you also get an item for doing it. And it costs you 333 to get it, and you get a bunch of points if you get to the end. Interestingly, Callie and Marie just kind of give generic responses here. There's not really story. But that's how they are through most of the levels, so it's not really surprising here. But it would have been nice to get some sort of, like, interesting lore drops in here, but this is basically a really challenging platform level. Everything is moving, enemies are showing up, you have to shoot them, you run around, you have to use all of your tools to your advantage. And this is only the first section. There are 4 sections. I'm pretty good at this first section. This first section is the hardest, or maybe the second hardest. The 4th section may be the hardest. You have to use all the abilities, like the squid roll. And then you have to... You should also always try to get as many eggs as possible, so like... Right? The music just goes. It's real epic. You're gaming. It's basically you're gaming. This is just you gaming. Right? You have to use the pillar to move around. There's a lot of they basically just said, okay, how hard can we make this? So you have to squid roll. You have to go. You have to come over here. You have to get on this platform. You have to hold it, which you can do easily with the squid surge because it pretty much holds your position. But it's still not easy, right? Like this is kind of crazy. And if you fall, you die, and you start over. There's only checkpoints in between the different sections. So if I die here, I have to start over at the beginning. Oop. That was close, actually. That was closer than I usually get it. A bunch of these guys show up. This section, I hate. Because you have to be very precise. Okay, I got it. that section is really hard because the ink rails are very easy to go maximum distance with, right? You just jump and you go maximum distance. That little section relies on you not going maximum distance. Relies on you going, okay, I can't hit the maximum here. I have to hit a medium. Now that section is also kind of difficult. I don't like those ones either. If I fall at any moment here, that'll be the end, pretty much. I don't usually go for that extra one over there because it's kind of too difficult. For this section, you kind of want to just wait because they never get cleaned off. So you can see them below there. If you just ink all of the sections, you'll get a little boost when you go. You'll still need to kind of like you'll still need to ink a little bit, but it won't be so bad as other. If you just went on it at the beginning and tried to ink everything as you moved. Alright. We're locking in here. But as you can see, because like you have to come on! Ah! All the way at the end. Okay. Alright. As you can see, I've already got most of this down, right? I'm not gonna really mess up. That last one. That was close. Right? I'm not gonna mess up. I'm gonna be able to get through it easy and probably not going to mess up at all. There are a few sections which I might mess up in. And then, of course, there's always the possibility you take an early miss, but it's not likely. Okay, got it. All right. All right. Oh, I missed. If you do it right, you can get them to never throw their bombs, which is really funny. You can also pretty much just grind this level for points because it's not. It gives you a lot of points, right? It costs 333, which is the most out of any, but it's also gives you like the most points ever, and it still gives you 3 lives. So you only have to grab 111 every time you have a life to get even, which I don't know if I'm hitting here, but I might be. I wouldn't doubt it, but I might not be. Ooh, you gotta be careful. That section, I usually do end up taking damage there just because of how it goes, right? They're throwing them right at you. Ooh, I missed. They're throwing it right at you. They're little bouncing balls. You gotta be really, like, on your feet to dodge them and kill them right away. You can always hold back and wait and then get them, but you just go. Ah! That's happened a surprising amount of times, where once you do the super jump, it says, oh, you go back on this other one. You go back the way you came. Okay. Oh, no, I don't. You don't want to squid roll back because that'll put you in the wrong spot, probably. Unless you plan on squid rolling back. Okay, this section. Ooh, ouch. Plus, to make matters worse, those guys are shooting at you, which is annoying. So you have to go quickly, too. The good thing is the second and third sections, I think it's the... I want to say the second one. One of them. Are really, like, it's really easy. You can do it in probably 2 tries, because if you go slow, you'll never mess up. It's that kind of level, so... In contrast, this one is one where if you don't go quickly, you will lose. If I hit a minute, an hour 30, Well, okay, the stream's not going over 2 hours because I have to go to bed. But if I hit an hour 30 and I'm still on this first one, I might just call it for next Monday. And we'll finish it up. And I'll talk about the final thing. And maybe I'll talk about what I think for the DLC, which I hope they announce the release date soon. I don't really need more information about the DLC itself. I just want the release date. So I know when I'm going to be playing Splatoon for like a week solid. Now, of course, I would love more information because more information is cool. Ooh, come on. Got it. But, right, I don't really need them to go, oh yeah, this is all of the gameplay. I just need them to go, oh yeah, it's coming out December, or alternately, tomorrow, or that would be best case scenario. What's most likely scenario is they're gonna say it's coming out November probably, or somewhere between September and November. So like either I kind of expected them to announce a release date already. I expected them to announce that on the Nintendo Direct, but they didn't. So it's probably not coming out August. Which is when they announced like the whole DLC thing, I figured that the second wave would come out basically a year after the game, like the original game. So that would be end of August 2023. But since they didn't announce that as the release date, it seems likely that it's going to be a little bit back. Now, they did say that it would come out by 2023, so I do still expect it sort of December at the latest. I don't think it'll be December, but it might be. I wouldn't put it past them, but I'm thinking like... But I'm thinking like probably November. They probably want to get it on the market before December, right? So we're looking at like anywhere from anywhere in November really is probably the latest I would reasonably suggest it. Now, it could be sooner than that, but I'm probably not putting it much sooner than late September, unless they do sort of a sneaky where they didn't talk about it, and then suddenly, oh yep, it's coming out in August, which would actually be nice. I mean, like, I would be happy about that. I would not be disappointed if it was coming out sooner. Now, I don't want it to come out. Oh, I almost died there. Whew. You can see I've already set it up, so I just go. And then I'm in a really good spot to just go. I can even probably get that one over there. Ooh, I got it. See, there we go. Okay. Anyway, that's my prediction. I'm thinking... I don't know. I think it'll be November. I'm putting my expectations low. Okay, it's the third one, actually. This one is pretty fun. Although it's really infuriating because it's a balloon popping level, and if you mess it up, you have to restart. The Ride Rails levels have always been sort of a mixed bag for me. In Octo Expansion, I really hated them. When I started to use motion controls, I got to the point where I'm just like, okay, yeah, they're fine. And I almost enjoy them, like, almost. Right? Because motion controls just make it a different experience for when you're trying to hit balloons. Like, you're trying to quickly... Because, really, these levels are all about flicking, right? Flicking to the next one, and tracking. And it's a lot easier, at least for me, with the motion controls. This section is a little bit difficult. I won't lie, because you have to... no! Oh, and then you have the really long fall into the water. Okay. The little box levels are kind of the same deal, where, like, they're testing tracking and flicking. So if you're on sticks, you're gonna have to be really quite good to get it for this to be easy for you. You're gonna have to be pretty good at sticks. In contrast, if you're using motion controls, once you get used to it, you should just be able to really hit a lot of these for free. I mean, you still mess up sometimes, but it's less infuriating, I found. Ooh, 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 ooh. They also added the sort of, like, you have to hit the previous balloons to get the next ones, which they already kind of had, but, okay, got it. Oof. Ooh, this section's really fun, because as you shoot the balloons, they go up. So, you can always hit them, right? But you have to be careful not to run out of ammo, aka ink. Ah yes, this is a quickly shoot the balloons as they appear. Leading up to the finale, which is pretty funny, and I think is probably anxiety-inducing, but it's still pretty fun. Now, shoot all of the balloons quickly. Got it. Nice. Nice. Okay, we got 2 more sections to go. This next section is pretty easy, as long as I don't go too quickly, which is easy to do because it's using these blocks. The soaker blocks, that's what they're called. And small fry. You also use small fry. Basically, if you ever want a soaker block always on, you just put small fry on it, and then it's always on, because that's how small fry works. But you do have to use him, because, you know, there are some sections which can only be accessed if you throw a guy. And then you generally want to put him. Ah, yes. They also do a lot of cool things with this, where, like, you know, I'm keeping that locked down the whole time, and then this goes, and then I drop down. You know, this sort of level is just solid. Like, there's nothing here that's like, oh yeah, it's really amazing, but I'm not looking at it and going, okay, yeah, they just phoned it in here, right? Because they didn't. It's pretty obvious that they... But this is definitely the most Mario-esque sort of, like, thing. Got it, okay. See, but it's not really nerve-wracking as long as you're... Oh, this part's cool. But the whole, like... I really like the whole, you know, oh no, it's falling behind you. Yeah, because they shrink back behind you. Ooh, ouch. Oh, I got him. Ooh. Ooh, okay, oof. What is below me? Oh, the blocks. And the, okay. Ooh. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. So as you can see, I have not messed up at all. And neither am I and I'm not likely to, right? As long as I take it slow. This section's pretty cool, right? The little guys show up and they threaten to kill you, but you just keep going. And you throw small fry back to you every once in a while. Ah, yes, this section's pretty cool too. I actually really like this part because you have to go up, shoot it back down. You have to wait until this thing drops, because if you just go now, the little guys will break, obviously. And then, once that's been cleared out, you can drop down onto this thing and just fly. Until, you know, you have to get off, because else this thing is going to die. Oh, right. This is kind of the same deal. You have to ink it, but not too much. Oh, no! See, if I had gone slow there, it would have been fine. Now I do have to restart, but... Oh, no! This section also has checkpoints in between. Like, it's not like the other sections. It has checkpoints, like, halfway through. Or, like, a third of the way through. It's, like... It's this section... mostly for fun, I feel. This was there. We didn't put enough of these blocks in the other games because we didn't put them in until now. Please just play with these blocks for a little bit. Okay, you gotta wait, gotta wait. Gotta wait. Okay. Okay, we should be good for the next one. Where is it? It's over there. Do. Okay. Right, so now we get on, and then, right, we have to specifically clean it up, basically. Right? We don't need to bump it more, because if we hit it too much, then it'll kill us. But if we do it right, then we'll have no problems. Right? So that blocks that, and then we gotta clear out that. And now we're good. Okay, and then we get on. This one's actually really cool. I like this one because of how they do it. Because you throw your guy there, and it explodes. And then it goes, and then you're like, oh, wait. Okay, go. And then you have to run because the thing is coming up behind you. And that's it. It's, like, really easy. Like, that section 3, easiest by far. Now, this one's hard. This is, so the goal. This is the last section. This is a AI fight. It's a very long AI fight with a lot of AIs that try to kill you and are slightly buffed. Especially the Dooley's AI is significantly better. Like, I don't know what it is. The Dooley's AI just knows what it's doing. See, right, like right there, they definitely like know what they're doing. Now the good thing is, you have some power ups and stuff, and the addition of your gear abilities. Well, it's not gear abilities, but your Ooh, crap. You can definitely jump camp them. They always jump in whenever another one dies, pretty much. Now, they do have a sort of, like, specific, oh yeah, we're not gonna jump in. Ooh. we're not going to jump in yet because... the other thing is you do want to use the specials as much as possible because once you get through all of them, and I do mean all of them, there is every special in the game here. You... And they spawn on opposite sides, basically. Oh, I should switch to... And they get... Okay, crab tank. We're not going to use it yet because I'm getting fired upon. They get specials too. Oh, come on! What? Okay. One of the key ways of doing this is just not dying because you will slowly kill all of them, but there's a lot of them. And they have special weapons. And once you get through all of the special weapons, so I don't think we're that close. We still have a good more to go. Always take the choice of... Ah! Whoa, 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 whoa. That was close. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty close, actually. Once you get through all of the specials, you get another shield, which is pretty good. And the specials are generally okay. So the only problem is right here at the beginning. They all spawn up there, and you can't shoot them until they come down, pretty much. I mean, you can try to get them, but it doesn't really work. Ooh. Ooh. Dualies, every time. Like, the dualies just... The AI just knows what to do with the dualies. Like, it's got the strategy and the aim on lock. Okay, that was the first round. There's like 3 rounds, I think. Oh, that didn't really work. Ooh, okay, switch to... The curling bomb is really good because it allows you to just go somewhere else. It allows you to go, okay, I'm in a bad spot. I need to switch to somewhere else. I lost my... Am I good? Okay. We want to get as many as we can while this is going on. Oh, crap. The crab killed me there, actually, ironically, because an enemy spawned right behind me, which is how crab works. You could always... Crab was never that broken. No, it was pretty overpowered. It wasn't broken. Because you could always kill it. It would just take too long. Right? That's probably the quickest you can kill guys. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I always want to switch to... Always spawn camp. Even if it's a roller, because they're probably going to miss you. Ooh. Oh, shoo. Their shield... They know what to do with their shield, too. The Brella ones also kind of know what they're doing. Like, the AI has just been generally advanced in this game, really, compared to others. We're going to start by using this, actually. Where are they? There they are. Got one. Oh! Stamp is still bad. Yeah, right. When the game came out, the hitboxes on the Stamper were not good. And okay, got him. Jet. So they do... Okay. Strike. me here. Missiles is always quite good. Even if you only fire it at one person. Now, Ink Vac kind of sucks. But the good thing is... Oh, come on. Ah! Whenever you get your second shield broken, it's always a bit of a... not good, because they're probably just going to kill you. I could try my alternate strategy, which was to never go for the specials, but I don't know if that's good or not. Oh, come on. They jump in over here. Ouch. More jump in whenever you kill one, so that's kind of the deal. Oh, it was so close too. Oh, I'm gonna die in the first one. Yeah. Sometimes it's just worth it to just move on. Okay, we're at 1:30. I think I can finish this in like 10 minutes, probably. Probably less if I lock in. They always do kind of... It's kind of like... it's actually kind of like how in... Pac-Man, right? The AI... The ghosts always do the same thing right at the beginning, right? Because, like, they're programmed in a certain... Right, their AIs are a certain way. Come on! That's stupid. You just get randomly hit by a roller. And thus... Got him. The Trizuka is not good. It's not. Got one. Got three. That's pretty good. Where's the other one? Got him. You almost want to not use the specials in some situations. You just want to go through them. I mean, some of them, right, like this one's free. Just go. Same thing with like Tri-Strike and like... Oh, I missed. I got somebody though. I think we're looking pretty good here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, good. Killer Whale is free. Kill those guys, please. This Wave Breaker is free. Zipcaster. Oh, that's why they added the little towers everywhere, by the way. For the Zipcaster, pretty much. Ooh! No! I had the armor, too. Stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Yeah, see, right, like, they always do the same thing. The Slosher goes left, the Ink Brush goes all the way around and comes out over here. And then the shooter just kind of sticks up there and messes around. Pretty much. Same thing. They're just really good at breaking that first shield and then never killing you again. Is that it? Kill all of them? Yeah, I got, okay. First wave. Next one. Stamper. We can use Stamper. Oh! Come on, come on. They broke my shield? What? Stamper doesn't have its buffs that it has in normal multiplayer. It sucks in this one. Right? 2 left, 1 right. Even though they're on the completely wrong sides for that, by the way. Great. Okay, that was alright. That wasn't just dumb. The AI will do some questionable things sometimes. And I think they miss their shots. Probably too much. Oh, I should just go for the other one. Right, Trizuka actually kind of sucks. Well, I got one. I don't think I killed anyone with that one. I need to practice my inkjet, so we're doing this. Even though they're going to kill me, which is stupid. Oof. Crab. Crab is dumb. Crab doesn't work on this map at all because it's the opposite of the normal Splatoon multiplayer maps, which are like hallways where Crab can just sit and camp things. This is like, you know, a plain field. I lost my shield? Okay, woof. That's just what you gotta do when you lose your shield. You just... Okay, I killed him. There's probably like a strategy here to ignoring certain, like, it's probably the, there's probably a, like, Call of Duty zombie strategy where you ignore the final enemy to get to the armor. I could see that. But I don't know if it really makes sense. Like this one, I'd still rather just use this at the start of the match. Like, set it up. Okay. Zipcaster. Got the armor. Oh, you get 2 armors. Okay, that's pretty good. And then you jump back here. Do you get it again if you do it again? I mean, that's not a good special, so we'll just ignore it. See, that's part of the problem. There's too many specials that are, like, not really great. Oh, come on! Like, you just want to go around until you've gotten all of them, because they're stupid. Oh! He got the other shield! I guess I have to go for it now, right? Tried to shield... Tried to super jump camp me, and they're going to kill me. Ugh. Unless... Got it. Whew. I don't think being marked does anything. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Because they're, like, they're AI opponents, so they kind of... They don't really, like, know where you are, but they kind of do, right? Come on. Got him. There's only 3 more, so there's only 1 more. Who is being weird. Ah, whew. So, what happens if you do it again? I want to know what happens if you get it again. Second time. Is it just the same? It might just be the same. This is Killer Whale. We got one more. Wave Breaker and then Zipcaster? Yeah. Oh, you don't get it again. It's only a one-time thing. That's cool. That's good. I think that's good. Okay. But now, the end of the game. You get a good amount of points for that. Okay. Okay, you get the title, Alternate World Champ, you get the teddy band, and you get a little sticker. And you get the final log. Log.exe. It's not even the 7th one. It's called Return of the Millions. Recall for a moment the first apocalypse that devastated the human race. They imply that the second one is also apocalypse, which is technically accurate, but I don't know. They were not the sole survivors. The others, the Arc Polaris, which was in the second game. There is a salmon run stage called The Ruins of the Arc Polaris. So, I haven't gone through the whole thing, but I guess that's a spoiler. Yeah. Anyway. Launching in the nick of time, this ship was laden with many of Earth's species that had been placed in a cold sleep. The mission was simple: you find another planet to replace Earth. Considering the circumstances of its launch, the Protoss had a smooth voyage until it reached the edge of the solar system. Debris struck the vessel, damaging its navigation systems. It will turn the vessel around and head back towards Earth. It's a space shuttle-esque object, by the way. There's not enough fuel to attempt a landing. It drifted aimlessly for 10,000 years, which is, okay, a couple of things here. First, there's always enough stuff to attempt a landing. Now, they may have done the calculations and said, we don't think we're going to survive. But technically, you don't even need fuel to attempt a landing. Because if you go into the atmosphere of the Earth, then you slow down because the Earth slows you down. Because it's air, and it's air resistance. And depending on how fast you're going, you can actually just land like that. I've played Kerbal Space Program. Now, that doesn't mean it's safe. So, the not enough fuel to attempt a landing is a bit weird. But the fact that it has crew, I don't see them just getting back to Earth and throwing their hands up in the air and going, welp, I guess we die. So, I don't know. This story is a little bit suspicious. But anyway, it drifted aimlessly for 10,000 years. The once stable orbit of the Polaris decayed over time until it found itself inescapable of Earth's gravity. That is real. That does happen. For multiple different reasons. One of them is air resistance slows it down over time until it falls all the way. The other reason is that that's just how it works. Orbits do actually decay. It just takes so long that it's not really relevant for us. Rienchi was not kind to its inhabitants. All perished save one. Which is more reasonable than the other thing. It's more reasonable that the ship crashes and everyone dies except one, and not that they, got back, threw their hands up and died anyway. Also, there's a bit of a timeline here. He was put into cold sleep 12,000 years before the ship crashed. The Arc Polaris took 2,000 years from when the bear was put into sleep. So there's 2,000 years between the Arc Polaris drifting aimlessly and the launch of it, basically. He had not landed on a new planet at all. He was back on Earth. It's dominated by sea creatures. Not a single mammal to be found, which is weird because there are sea mammals, you know, like dolphins and whales. But I don't know, whatever. He used navigational equipment to discover Alterna. It was a wasteland, but a few of the liquid crystals that once covered the wall ceiling remain. With knowledge built during his he repaired some of Alterna's facilities and began researching the crystals. So the presumption is that Alterna is all rebuilt by Mr. Grizz. Also, he's bear number 3, who's an experimental subject who had retained consciousness within its cold hibernation. I don't know how all of that works. Just go with it, I guess. He compounded some of the liquid crystals with his own fur and in turn substance it could transform any living creature into a mammal. I don't know how that exactly tracks, but it's okay. He could make everyone mammals again. He wanted to do this for reasons. He put it in the still intact rocket, which they still have. Yeah, see, right, like there's little bits that you think about it for a second and you're like, wait a minute. But the golden eggs were used to create the ooze, and then he created Grizzco Industries to get all of the golden eggs. So every time you get a golden egg, you're actually just helping him destroy the world. And then at the end, he steps. It's the final plan. Step is motion. Yep. So basically, when you combine this one with this one, you get kind of the implication that it seems highly likely, combined with this one, or at least log number 2, maybe. Or, no, log number 1. Against the odds computed to be 42,791 to 1, which I would actually put it at lower than that. That seems kind of a high odds that everyone died. It's pretty likely that some humans survived. I would say, in regards to Splatoon, the biggest evidence that humans no longer exist is not anything we learned from anything. It is just the fact that they have never been shown. And that no one has mentioned them other than being extinct. Right? This is not a we found right, but if you think about it, the same thing is true for the dinosaurs because we don't have any written records of them. The difference is we have written records. But when you talk about sort of civilizations going away, there are some that the only evidence we have that they went extinct is that we don't see them anywhere and we never found them anywhere, so they must have gone extinct. And this is the assumption they're basically doing with Splatoon and humanity. So I think there are a couple different ways they could go with it. The first one, there's basically 3. The first one is they just stick to their guns. Humanity is all dead. It's just backstory, no extra. Second one, they can pull up a small amount of humans from, like, frozen sleep or something. Because that exists. Judd was in it. Mr. Grizz was in it. Some humans are probably in it somewhere. So they find them, and that's the thing. And then humans are in the thing, but they're not actually part of the world, really. They're out of the world. They've just been awoken from sleeping. And then the third way is the way I kind of want them to do it, is that humans set up somewhere else. Preferably Mars or Venus. That would be pretty cool if they did that. And then there was a game where I don't know, that happens and we find out more about Inklings and humans because they meet up and something happens. That, I think, would be the way to do the world the most interesting, but the problem is that requires a lot of lore and I don't think they want to add that much lore. But I do, which is why I like it. So, yeah. That's my opinion. Anyway, I finished it. We will play, after I play it on my own, whenever that DLC comes out, we will definitely be playing that on stream. But I don't know what I'm going to play next, so I don't know. Maybe I'll get people on here and for next Monday and talk Splatoon or something. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. Anyway, this is the end of the stream.